They'd look for a pick, but it's MWZ that scores first. And now the wingman saves Sanji. There's only 2 left alive against 3. 100 Thieves are trying to hold it down. That's silly! Furia comes out with magic!
So yesterday, 100 Thieves played Furia, and before the game, Boostio tweeted this out. If I lose today, I retire. I don't even know who I'm playing, to be honest. And of course, 100 Thieves lost. And Boostio, after the fact, did tweet out this, O2 to Furia, who wants my spot. So it's all in good fun, but how did Furia, an 0-5 Furia, manage to beat 100 Thieves? Well, we're going to take a look here at Haven, and the first thing we have to talk about really is Furia's comp. It's good to have Haven back. But this is the comp that Furia played, the Neon Breach Gecko. Very, very aggressive, right? Very kind of aggro, all-in comp. And right from the first round, there was problems for 100 Thieves in dealing with this.
We're going to find out throughout the game here as the first pressure towards Long. A beautiful KO knife to start off from Asuna here as they figure it out. And Bang has already gone on an adventure towards Cubby here.
2 nice little trades, and indeed, Bang's going to be pretty much on a one and done if this doesn't get cleared, especially now that the Dizzy has not been refreshed yet, and there's the peak. Forward position, though, from Cryo, was able to trade it back against Shanji. Now towards the back, Aftershock pushes him out, and Zero catches 2 off guard and picks him off. Now continue to push forward. He knows that there's one around the corner and decides to play back with his teammates. An advantage coming out on 2 versus 4. So it's all up to Austin.
Okay, so let's talk about this round then. And we're going to start off here by talking about this KO knife. And we'll talk about this in the next round I show you as well. Because we're going to throw an early KO knife. I mean, this is quite interesting that 100 Thieves are playing KO as well. We get the early smoke here down towards A. And Furia create a bit of presence over towards this A side of the map. Now, normally you will see KO knives, come in towards A. This is kind of normal thing to do, whether it's here or, maybe here as well. It's normally going to hit over towards A. So they create a bit of presence, they put this smoke here, but then they're just going to fast come back towards C. Now, Bang is in a position here to where he hears all of this, right? And you will start to see that as he starts hearing them come across, we start getting the rotates on A coming in as well. But Bang isn't able to get a kill as Furia come down here. But now we're going to see the problem that they have, because we go 1 for 1 and Cryo dashes out. Okay, he's going to get stunned. But you're going to see the problem we're going to have here, and this is the problem that I think probably will happen a lot in like this week and maybe next week, but then probably will fade off somewhat, is that teams just aren't used to playing against a Neon, right? And the timings that a Neon can create. See it right here, right? That Cryo just has no idea, right? He has no idea that this Neon is literally already past him and has already killed Boostio. MW has already killed Boostio here right next to Cryo, right? And he just has no idea. And I think that this is the first thing that 100 Thieves kind of struggled with in this game, was on their attacking side, Furia were playing with a frantic pace that 100 Thieves, I think, were, somewhat struggling to figure out how to play at that pace. And Furia were playing very, very fast, as their comp kind of dictates, with a Breach Gecko and a Neon. And in the bonus round, crucial bonus round, we're just going to see Furia basically group up towards A, and they're just going to hit this A site hard.
As soon as possible here. Both Icebox and Haven. Again, 4. And they're going to push this time, not run away.
There's always going to be this trade of util between both initiators. A Dizzy to get information, but a knife to counter out. Does not allow for Furia to flood too much util until they execute towards the site.
Oh my.
There's so much util that forces now 100 Thieves to play further towards the back, but also does score the first kill. A push forward from the...
So let's talk about the early part of the round here, right? And what actually goes on here, because we see Furia are just going to run it down. But again, we're going to get this KO knife in here, and it's going to suppress 4 players, right? It suppresses everyone but the Killjoy. Now, that means that obviously the Killjoy, could be lurking somewhere else on the other side of the map. Actually, the Killjoy just avoided it and is going to come down with the rest of the team anyway. Obviously, 100 Thieves don't know that. But you've suppressed 4 people here out towards A. They go for the early stun and they go for the early smoke. And this is perhaps another thing that 100 Thieves kind of struggled with early on, is perhaps they gave Furia a bit too much respect, right? Because you suppress 4 people here, but they don't really move. Right, they push Bang up towards C, so they got a bit of control here, but they don't really move. And now they don't really have a lot of stopping power here, right? With a KO Sova, there isn't a great way of actually stopping this exec. And this is something that I kind of thought that 100 Thieves, maybe they could have used their KO knife a bit smarter, because Furia, the way that they're going to play loud. They're going to... Most of the time, they're going to tell you what's going on, and they did in this half, right? And so we used our KO knife, and it got us the information that 4 people are here, but then we aren't really doing much with that information, And really, the KO knife is perhaps our best way of actually stopping Furia from doing their exec, right? With these two players on A. It probably is the best way we can actually stop this from happening. So by using it for the information early on, and you see we've actually still got a Sova Dart here for 100 Thieves that we haven't used. And a Sova Dart can, be very useful at helping you, kind of deal with an exec as well, right? But our Omen is on the other side of the map. So any smoke is, going to take probably a little bit of time to get there, right? Which is often what you want, a Sova Dart, kind of with a smoke that you can then spam through, and not be caught and all of that. So you see that this setup on A, like, it just didn't really work against kind of the pace that Furia were playing at, and you see that 100 Thieves are basically caught off guard, right? The Furia just go quiet. They just go quiet whilst they're suppressed, though, right? And they can't do anything. So they just go quiet for that little bit, and then they explode in, and, we see we aren't able to use the Sova Dart to get a kill, even though it gets quite a few pings there. And even though we do get the first kill there, now you're going to see that, we get into this post plant, the spike goes down. It's going to be a little messy here from 100 Thieves.
We're trying to surprise Asuna, and no support coming through. Boostio just got dinked. Now MWZero answers back as EU drop here from heaven. Op shot missed. MWZero continues to push forward. They are not afraid to fight towards the spawn here for Furia. Finally, he escapes here and puts the wall up. And just delays that clock down as the spike is planted at the default spot. Oh! Paranoia, though. There is that scope in to get the pick, but Cryo's now alone. Picks up the Vandal to swing out for Khalil, and a bonus round converted for...
Okay, so let's talk about this retake then, because it is a bit scrappy here from 100 Thieves. You're going to see, we get the first kill, right? We're in a 5v4, and Asuna manages to escape, so that's good. Nozwa comes up, he tries to find a kill, and he ends up getting a headshot, but Boostio manages to live, right? We're in a 5v4 here, okay? And now we're going to see it starts to kind of get a bit messy here, because you have two choices here if you're 100 Thieves, really. Either, you've got 4 players here, right? So you can, if you want to, go for like a fast flood, in we go, let's just go, right? There are some limitations to that, right? One of them is one of us has an op, right? Also, we're low on health with 2 players, so that might not be the best idea, just given the exact circumstances. But in the moment, that's a choice we have. The other one, of course, is Bang is quite far away, but he has like a good kit of util here, right? He's gonna get back this second smoke. He's still got his Omen flash in there. Maybe you can TP across somewhere. Like you could play for a full set retake, just wait for Bang essentially, and just play a 5v4 retake with better guns. And this is the thing, they kind of end up doing a bit of both, essentially, because you can already kind of tell by the map here. This is EU, like, jumping out of heaven on his own. Now, I understand why he's done this, right? This is a reaction probably to him thinking that Furia are, like, deep pushing this, right? So he's just going out now, which is very risky, to be fair. This is kind of a crazy play for a Sova to make on their own, right? Because, he could just die to this guy, really, before he even hits the ground. He does manage to hit the ground, and he actually does manage to get a kill. And I understand why he's done it, but... again, we're on like slightly different pages there where he's out on his own and he's died, and he could have died without even getting a kill. It's possible, right? But now that, okay, we've gone 1 for 1 there, we're still in a 4v3. They have the same kind of choice available to them again, where it's, do you want to wait for Bang or not, right? Because he's still very far away. Do you want to wait for him or not? And again, you're going to see that we kind of end up in, Cryo takes that shot. And now from when Cryo takes this shot, he's going to kind of be of the mind of, yeah, let's just wait. And he's going to come and reposition back to heaven. Let's just wait. Let's play a 4v3. Let's go from there, right? But it kind of looks like Boostio and Asuna maybe they're on the page of let's go. So we're just on like maybe slightly different pages. And you're going to see like, Boostio's holding this. Asuna's doing a lineup so he can get something. We end up in a 3v3 and now they wait for Bang, but now we're in a 3v3, right? So... just like we're on just slightly different pages here on this retake, and from here obviously it's kind of tough, and MW, and it's nice play by Furia, right? MW manages to get one, Havoc manages to get one, and then Cryo ends up in a 1v2, and it's tough, right? As Khalil finishes him off there, but you just see some of that, disconnect maybe in 100 Thieves there in terms of how they wanted to approach that retake, because once you're in a 5v4 against a bonus there, you should be in a pretty good spot to maybe convert that round if 100 Thieves are, fully cohesively playing well together, but it was just a little off. Okay, now let's skip ahead to round number 6, where again we're going to see some problems for 100 Thieves.
The IGL 100 Thieves, and they pull one back in their favor. Looks like they're waiting for the 0 point this round.
Not really.
There it is.
100 Thieves are really not trying to do the recon dart towards the A cubby. They just want to go for shock dart damage.
Oof.
There's a relay bolt towards the back of the site. Boostio being pushed forward, and MW0 will be able to get the kill. Back on the train, Asuna towards the A-link. Shanji inside that smoke just behind it towards that B site. And the positions are quite good here for Furia on the first fight on B.
And just one more. First B strat is an absolute banger here from MW0.
Okay, so let's talk about this one, because we got similar sort of problems here for 100 Thieves, again, as you might have just seen. But let's talk about the setup at first, because this is their pistol round setup that they went for as well, which I don't think against this comp was a great setup, to be honest. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, but we've already talked about, you know, they've got maybe some problems with stopping them on A. You know, I personally think when we've got KO ult like they do, right, we can probably just play full retake B against like this kind of fast. This is an explosive comp, right? This is a comp that's going to hit you hard, and then is probably going to run out of some steam after the fact. And I think particularly on these B hits with a KO ult, you know, we could just play for retake. And again, I mean, this is a nice shock dart, right? Knowing that the Gecko is going to do this flash from here, like nice shock dart, nice idea, right? And then we throw in this KO knife again, right? So we throw in the KO knife. We don't really get too much. This was their first B hit Furia, so I can understand being a little bit, you know, unprepared for it. But again, you know, Boostio gets smacked here by the neon stun, and eventually is gonna die just here. And again, we've got this similar sort of idea where, you know, they seemed very cognizant of, you know, we've seen Bang in the 3 rounds that I've shown you, like he's pushing this a lot, right? But you'll see again, like, okay, we end up losing the guy on the site, we pop KO ult, Asuna's gonna actually get this kill back, and we're in a 4v4. And now again, we're gonna run into problems because again, I understand you've popped KO ult, so like it's kind of forcing us to go. But again, we just got one guy who's not in the round yet, really. And we're playing at their pace, if I'm being honest. Like this I think was their problem sometimes as well. That like Furia are playing a very fast comp. But you don't always have to. Right? You don't have to match their speed. Like you can chill a bit. The spike the spike isn't down yet, right? The spike goes down now, and like Cryo's, you know, coming out of smoke with an op. Right, again, there's like so many ways that this can go wrong. You know, he's completely unsupported by anything else, right? You know, and he dies, and then, you know, both Asuna and EU then decide to come in, right? And again, Bang isn't in the round, right? We are playing a 3v4 here, essentially, you know, as far as we know. With that said, for all the struggles 100 Thieves had on their defense side, on their attack side, I actually thought that they were pretty good, and we'll see it here in the pistol round.
To anchor up that side, and the rest now pivoting more towards B and C for fast rotates and support.
Cover going out.
All right, a lot is on Cryo here. Kind of create the same problems for the side of Furia. Well, beautiful dart, but it's not going to work. More than one.
Recon got so much info. MW0's on the reload. It's going back and forth, but it's Havoc alone. And he was all the way out towards the A side, as we mentioned before. Bang is low, but Boostio and Austin are still quite healthy, and they're set up for the crossfire. Should be simple after the first contact until I say that.
Okay, so this is just a really nice round from 100 Thieves, kind of everything that they, you know, probably wanted other than the kill from Cryo here. But I really like this, right? That they, you know, go for what looks like a fast CXX, right? We're going to get a dart in here. We're going to get a deep KO flash. We're going to get Cryo coming up here. We're actually going to get a double lurk coming through Garage. And I think if we just watch the map, you know, you're going to see Furia, like they, you know, were a team that, hey, when, you know, we played really fast and we just hit the sites. So you must be doing the same, right? No, right? 100 Thieves have got an extra layer to this, and so we end up getting a free kill, and we actually end up getting a second free kill. And really, this round could have not even been that close, right? If Cryo does manage to hit a shot on anyone that gets revealed here, you know, before dying, like, you know, it could have been even more one-sided this round, right? But then also what we got going on is, you know, again, Furia, you know, just believing, I guess, you know, I think they see the Omen here, so I think Nozwa sees the Omen on the map and thinks, oh, Garage must be clear, so he just jumps into his death as well. Right, so again, Furia, we're just playing here at kind of, again, like their pace essentially, and just thinking like, well, we only would just do a CXX with no lurk, so you can't have a lurk, surely. And Furia really did struggle on their defense side. I mean, we got back to 10-10. You know, this was becoming a close game very fast, and Furia, some of their setups I really didn't like, but this is one of the ones, this is a round that they win, and they win because they play to the actual strength of their comp. So, right, what do? They 4-stack A. If there's going to be a big fight here, hey, we've got 4 people here, we can fight you there, right? So that's what they're saying first. You know, and if you go C or if you come, you know, towards B, then we can play for a retake, which again is what our comp is good for. And we didn't see this enough early on from Furia. Now 100 Thieves, I like what their round plan is here, right? They tap here and they're going to TP back out because I think that they're hoping to bait out this breach ult, right? Or the killjoy lockdown, right? They're hoping to bait out one of these ults by tapping the spike on B. Unfortunately for them, Furia are smart. They don't do that, right? They just pop a Narrow Swarm. They pop the Aftershock. You can't plant. And so then we kind of have to reset here for 100 Thieves. And we actually have, you know, MW pushed all the way up here. He eventually gets droned and you know, has to then leave, of course. And Furia actually come and, you know, they stack back towards A. They're ready to refight this if they need to, right, as a team. But 100 Thieves, they get perhaps a little unsure of exactly where to go. Obviously, they don't know what's going on towards C in general. I will say that Furia, I think, could have punished 100 Thieves, and I'm kind of surprised that they did this turret as much as they did instead of the one on top of the box. I think this turret on top of the box is just insanely good, by the way. Just to throw in every so often. I'm surprised Furia didn't do it because it just gives you such good info. Like, if you look at where, like, you know, Havoc is now, right? He's watching Garage anyway, right? So the turret watching this part of Garage for him isn't really doing that much because he's watching it, you know, pretty diligently anyway. You know, so he could have put it maybe on C and you know, that would have given them a lot of info. You know, and I'm surprised that he didn't do that at least once because I thought that would be quite a nice little change up because 100 Thieves weren't defaulting towards C a lot and wouldn't have destroyed that turret a lot. But anyway, 100 Thieves come back towards B and in they come. But now we're going to see, this again is what Furia's comp was kind of designed for, right? This is what, you know, they're here for, is to go for these fast flood retakes to basically play attack on defense.
So they're going to get ready for this. The commitment now towards this B-side. Rolling Thunder hits a lot of them. Front line, those does hit NW0. Cell still wins that fight. But the rotate comes across here from the ceiling. A ping out from the Hunter's Fury.
Nice
On top is Khalil with the kill and a second one onto Boostio. 3 in the round. With the lockdown going out, it does attain 1, giving a chance for EU. A window of an opportunity to try to fight a 3 versus 1. Does spot the first one, trying to clear out towards the site. 12 seconds left. Spike is out of reach. Khalil is there.
Oh my gosh.
So what I'll say here for 100 Thieves again is that they just a little disjointed, right, in this round in terms of what they're doing. Because they come in and do this B exec, right? And we're going to end up using both our Sova ult and our Killjoy lockdown. But we use them at kind of like weird timings is what I'll say, right? The spike is getting planted. Now in comes this breach ult. And like they seem caught a bit almost off guard. They're like, oh, they're going to breach ult us? Really? What? But we tapped the spike before and you didn't, right? And like, I think again, if 100 Thieves are playing like their best, like EU is already Sova ulting this, right? Like a Sova ult is already coming out, stopping these guys from floating back onto the site with their breach ult, right? Or they've, you know, locked down earlier on in the round, whatever it is, right? But you're going to see like the timing is just a little late. You know, we go for the Killjoy lockdown, you know, now we're kind of popping the Sova ult, now it's going off, but like these, you know, we're already in the site, you know, Cryo's actually already got a stunned kill and, you know, has been traded. And like now the Sova ult's coming out, the Killjoy lockdown's not doing, you know, too much really. It's at a very weird time. It's like, okay, it's a nice play by Khalil, you know, to TP and get up here. That's quite nice. Maybe somewhat out of necessity to try and avoid the Sova ult, but you know, just like that, again, just maybe not fully like prepared for what, you know, Furia were going to do, which was a pretty normal reaction to, you know, ult B the second time, you know, off the tap. Like, you know, there's really no reason why you ever wouldn't do this if you're Nozwa here, right? So just a bit of a weird one here from 100 Thieves, where again we just see maybe just slightly off in terms of, you know, knowing what their reaction should be in the moment.